What's going on, everybody? Maz here, coming back at you with some more gospel chops today. I want to show you this really cool fill that I've used for years and used variations of for years, and show you that it's actually quite simple, even though when it's quick, it sounds super busy and super all over the place. So I did a lot of improvisation in that original part, but I am going to show you the breakdown of what I did at its simplest form, and I'll explain to you how to improvise it in that same way. So to start with, it's a fill that involves phrasing certain numbers of patterns between the hands and feet. So you have a certain amount of hits on the hands. So that would be 4, and then a certain amount of hits on the feet. And I just did that with double kick. So that's a really common double bass fill that's used in a lot of metal, and it's doing this kind of stuff. Stuff like that. And I do recommend when you're starting out learning these patterns to start them on the snare first. That's how I learned them, and then move them around the kit as you see fit and put your own style on it. So what I was doing in this fill was I'm doing 4 on the hands and 2 on the feet. But I'm doing the same thing as I explained in the previous video, where I'm superimposing a dotted 8th note pulse against it, which would be. And as you can see, it's not really lining up with the cowbell and the kick on the ones because, as I mentioned in the previous video, it's a dotted pulse. And the cool thing is that you can move it wherever you like, so you could split up the hands, which is what I'm doing in this fill here. And then I'm going over from the snare to the floor toms. And then I'm doing 2 between the 2 floor toms. So to recap, it's 1 pass from tom 1 to snare, and that's a grouping of 6. And then 1 pass from snare to floor tom. It's another grouping of 6. And then we're going to do floor tom to floor tom twice. And that's 6 and 6. And then that snare just to end it off to bring us into the next bar. Again, that's going to be on the 4. And just like the other videos, if you wanted to go over the bar line, you absolutely could, and that would just basically keep going. And you could start bringing cymbals in there. You could start changing up the amount you do on the hands. And that little ending one there, the really quick one, was basically just playing 16th note triplets. But again, splitting it up with the hands and feet. So that was 16th note triplets to the dotted pulse again. So that's where you can see that it's really difficult to fit very large groupings in that dotted 8th note pulse. So you have to be mindful of how many you're going to put on the hands and feet. Like putting a grouping of 6 is pretty straightforward, especially because you're dealing with a number that's a multiple of 3, which the dotted 8th note pulse is based off of. And if you're getting kind of adventurous about it, you can actually play it with single kick, which is a little bit tougher to do. I'm still working on the speed myself, and play quarter notes on either a foot cowbell if you have one, or just the hi-hats. And watch how the foot cowbell and the kick work together on this. cool thing you could do as well is play around with the triplets a little bit. Drop the feet out, just do the hands, create longer patterns, and just mix and match, right? And you can decide whether you want to end with the 2 kicks or on the hands, right? Just keep in mind, if you're going to crash with the right hand and the right foot, you're going to have a triple there. Otherwise, you could basically end on your hands. Which in some cases I find to be a little bit more tasteful, but again, play with it, make it your own, and have fun. Thanks, and take care.